Zoals professor Sauer zo pas meegaf, staat de kernwapenproblematiek weer volop in de publieke belangstelling. Binnenkort neemt onze regering een beslissing in de aankoop van de 34 nieuwe gevechtsvliegtuigen. De vraag of deze vliegtuigen ook kernwapens moeten kunnen droppen, met al hun hallucinante en dramatische gevolgen, is een dolksteek in het hart van elk van ons die waarachtige vrede koesteren. Nooit brengt een oorlog vrede, en al zeker geen oorlog met kernwapens. Wakker voor Vrede is dan ook zeer vereerd en bijzonder verheugd om in ons midden de heer Daniel Gsta te mogen verwelkomen. Hij is coördinator bij ICAN. En ICAN staat voor International Campaign to Abolish Nuclear Weapons. ICAN geeft 468 partners in 101 landen. Als drijvende kracht achter het historische verdrag tegen kernwapens kreeg deze organisatie vorig jaar de Nobelprijs voor de Vrede. Dit verdrag werd in juli 2017 door 122 VN-landen goedgekeurd. Ons land tekende toen niet. Nochtans stelt het federale regeerakkoord van oktober 2014, en ik citeer, te zullen ijveren voor internationale initiatieven met het oog op een verbod op wapensystemen met een willekeurig bereik en of een buitensporig effect op burgers. Deze erkenning van het Nobelprijscomité vormt een aanmoediging van formaat om hier onmiddellijk werk van te maken. ICAN doet ons denken aan het verhaaltje van Swimi, een klein zwart visje in die onmetelijke grote oceaan waar grote hongerige vissen overal op de loer liggen. Swimi zoekt steun bij zijn vele kleine soortgenootjes die weliswaar allemaal rood van kleur zijn. Inderdaad, Swimi is een buitenbeentje. Hij komt op het briljante idee om samen zo te zwemmen dat ze de vorm aannemen van één grote rode vis. Zwarte Swimi vormt het oog. En wanneer die grote rode vis voorbij komt zwemmen, deinzen de andere hongerige vissen verschrikt achteruit. Ja, als alle mensen die van goede wil zijn de krachten bundelen, kunnen en zullen we bergen van vrede verzetten. Dear people, I would like to give the floor to Mr. Daniel Gsta, the Swimi of the International Campaign to Free Our World from Nuclear Weapons. Let us give him a warm and friendly welcome applause, one that can be heard even in Brussels.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. It's a great honor for me to be with you here today. And I'm not sure if I hope that nickname sticks, but it's catchy. So you can all call me Swimmy from now on. But like I said, it's a great honor for me to be here today, and I just want to note how truly welcome and felt the warmth and hospitality of Westhoek. It's been a truly memorable experience, and I've been really inspired to share this time here over the last 2 days with so many inspiring peace activists. So thank you so much for your hospitality. It's a great honor. So as you've heard, my name, not actually Swimmy, but Daniel Högsta. I'm just one member of the large family that is ICAN, and I really feel that being here, that family has grown even larger. As many, but maybe not all of you know, ICAN is a campaign and a coalition of almost 500 partner organizations in over 100 countries. Since 2007, we have worked to recenter the nuclear weapons issue around people, not about abstract and outdated concepts of deterrence and misguided notions of national security, but about human beings. It was our belief in ICAN that if any progress in nuclear disarmament is to be possible, We have to approach the issue from a humanitarian perspective, to force governments to acknowledge that nuclear weapons have indiscriminate and inhumane effects that, if used, would violate international humanitarian law. And importantly, that just like other weapons of mass destruction and other weapons with indiscriminate and inhumane effects, they must be banned by international treaty. And so ICANN campaigners for the last several years have worked tirelessly to force governments to negotiate the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons. Last year, as you might have heard, ICANN was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for our work to, quote, draw attention to the catastrophic humanitarian consequences of any use of nuclear weapons and our groundbreaking efforts to achieve a treaty-based prohibition of such weapons. The Nobel Prize is an incredible and unimaginable honor. We accept and welcome our responsibility to make the most of this recognition. But we know that our work is far from finished. ICANN is made up of people who are shocked that after 7 decades, nuclear weapons still threaten all of us. And frankly, we are sick of waiting. We are done waiting for leaders to act on promises they made decades ago to rid the world of these weapons of mass murder. We are done waiting for the leaders of a handful of countries to stop holding us all hostage. We are done waiting and worrying that a handful of world leaders with big bombs and fragile egos will blow us all up. We are done waiting and hoping for certain other governments to stop legitimizing nuclear weapons as a means of collective self-defense, and I think you all know who I'm talking about here. The clock is ticking, and if they do not abolish nuclear weapons, the weapons will be used. We are done waiting for our luck to run out. We know the humanitarian cost. We know the unprecedented suffering that these weapons of mass destruction would bring if used again in conflict or even by accident, something that is more and more likely as each day goes by. We cannot allow that to happen. So we got together, we organized, we turned our frustration into action, and we reminded the world that as scary as they are, nuclear weapons are just that, they're weapons. Humans made them, humans control them, or try to, which means we can also dismantle them. And of course, we listened to the guiding voices of those forgotten victims of nuclear testing. We listened to the wisdom of the survivors of nuclear war, the witnesses to the attacks on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the fearless Hibakusha. They have fought for 72 years to make sure nobody suffered the fate that befell them, their family, and their friends, and their beautiful cities. We should not underemphasize the effort it took to make this happen. It took a lot of effort by a lot of people to mobilize governments around this treaty. And we had to work hard to avoid the pushback from nuclear weapon states and their allies. And they worked hard. They tried to block our progress at every turn. But they were not able to stop us. And it was for this work, as well as what the treaty stands for and the hope it represents, that the Nobel Peace Prize was awarded to ICANN. It's a huge honor, like I said, and we're both humbled and excited to be the Nobel Peace Prize laureates. We're humbled because of the many, many esteemed and visionary peace leaders who came before us, but we're also excited. We're really excited for the possibilities and opportunities we have before us. And we will need all the help we can get, because the nuclear weapon states and their allies are not about to give up. They're going to fight tooth and nail to try to diminish our work and to stop the treaty from having any impact. But we should be encouraged by their pressure. We should be encouraged by their pushback. We should not be scared or intimidated or disillusioned or apathetic by it, because they know what's really at stake. They know that we're threatening them with the end of nuclear weapons. This treaty gives us a framework to eliminate nuclear weapons entirely. History shows us that prohibition of certain types of weapons is the first step towards their elimination. Weapons that have been outlawed by international treaty are increasingly seen as illegitimate, losing their political status. Arms companies find it more difficult to acquire funds for work on illegal weapons, and such work carries a significant reputational risk. Banks, pension funds, and other financial institutions divest from these producers. Just the other day, in the Netherlands, we saw the largest pension fund in that country announce that it intends to divest from nuclear weapons, citing the Nuclear Weapons Ban Treaty as a key motivation for its decision. This came just a month after the largest pension fund in Norway did the same thing. Underpinning the decision by governments and civil society to pursue the ban was our belief that changing the rules regarding nuclear weapons would have a major impact even beyond those nations that would formally adopt the treaty at the outset. With this treaty, we have the framework to create a new international norm that casts these weapons not as symbols of power, but as symbols of shame. The days of loud men, and yes, they're usually men, threatening us all with weapons of mass murder are numbered. We are done waiting for them to act on past promises. We are done waiting for an invitation at the negotiating table. We are done waiting for permission to stand up, to speak up, and to protect all that we hold dear. It might seem dark right now. It might seem that we are close to that nightmare of nuclear war. We are actually closer than ever to ending the nuclear terror. The Nuclear Ban Treaty is a light in this dark moment. If we keep pushing towards it, we will see the end of nuclear weapons. It is vital that people in each country put pressure on their representatives to sign the Nuclear Ban Treaty and to ratify it. Think about that. It's now up to the politicians who represent you, the parliamentarians, the senators, to make this treaty a legal force. Your voice will be heard, it will matter, and it is needed now. Together, we are taking control of our shared global destiny. We are going to break the chains of nuclear bondage once and for all. So in addition to the compelling nature of the threat, the urgency that the existential destructive power of nuclear weapons create, I extend you all an invitation to join ICANN in this work, not solely from a place of fear, but from a place of hope. Fear is what gives these weapons strength. It's what paralyzes action. The very act of believing in this movement, in promoting the Nuclear Weapons Ban Treaty, is a defiant act of bold hope at an increasing time of fear. This movement needs your hope. It needs your expertise. It needs your activism. It needs the energy that I've felt here over the last few days. It needs your ingenuity. We choose the end of nuclear weapons, and we are done waiting. Thank you very much.